Warm sunshine all on my head. Life is a blessing. Even if I stress and I'm left for dead. No, it's no weapon that's gonna pierce my frame, spilling my red. My frown is missing, smiling through the pain wherever I miss. Grace is sufficient. I will not complain. No, somewhere in this rain is wisdom. The lessons I've been getting cost me something like tuition. Pay attention to the vision, it can save your life. Listen, Elohim sent that rain through Christ. I pray you see him glisten. And that rainbow, it's a promise, not a sex symbol. That's different. No, that came out of nowhere. Nowhere is somewhere. If we're specific, I grew up somewhere between young genius and black statistic. I know the word of God is spirit, not limited to linguistics. And my wife, she just turned down 100K. I'm so proud, even though I said think twice about it, babe. But she prayed, and what's wild is just when she was about to get paid, she pulled out for her faith, and I love her style to this day. Can't buy love. Some things are not for sale. My soul over can't my wealth. That's heaven over hell. Not at all. I know it's fortune in my fitness, my temple. Contain my riches, my pencil upon the paper. Sketching blessings from the maker. We say gospel and they hate us. Apostles' life is a fragrance. May the spirit of his statements deliver us from enslavement. See, the God of heaven is real. So is every temptation to believe he ain't. Whenever we suffer, we should thank him. See, trials make us think. Let us use our brains, use our faith. The weapons of our warfare is here inside of what we say. Declaring everything is his and in his will. Prophecy telling me we close to it being revealed. Yeah, I put it on display. My hoodie cover up my face. My life has been afflicted. I'm dipped in the blood of the ticket. Yeah, was a statistic. And the mud grew up sadistic. Almost ended up sitting between the judge and a witness. Elohim pardon my sin. That's why I get so defensive. He was 100 with me when y'all laughed and called me religious. Can't buy love. Some things are not for sale. My soul over my wealth. That's heaven over hell. Yeah, these words are like vegetation. I hope you taste the edification. I hear is no fear and faith, and it's no faith in trepidation. I pray that God will bless the nation, bless us with the revelation, and eliminate all of our capitalistic nature. See, when it's money over any and everything, nothing can be sacred, cause the moment I love anything, the money gon' replace it. So that mean family and friends take second place to my ends. How do they suffer through something I say I do for them? Can't buy love.
Whoa. Welcome to the 42 Tribes series. Yes, we have a big night for you guys tonight. Yes, we do. I pray that you all are.
If I don't want to make a video like this of myself, I can just make a really cute.
That guys, the ad there. Get you guys going in a second. Boom. So tonight we have from our 42 Tribes series, week 5, Big Chief Joseph Monk Boudreaux. Now, this is our website where you can find the rest of our Big Chiefs from this series. All you have to do is go to blackmasking.org and you can hit the Big Chiefs archives. Wanted to share this video right quick before we all right. So, like I said, we are really happy to have you guys come with us and follow us through this series, right? This series of 42 Tribes, what we did about 2 years ago, going into the community and really wanting the icons, the legends, the pillars of our community to be able to tell their story. Many times in our culture, our story is only shown on TV when they're in their suits and when they're in their entertaining aspect. Very rarely do you have many documentaries that are out that really speaks to um, the struggle and the history of keeping this culture going, of preserving this culture, right? We many times look at just the finished product, and so many movies and so many people have made so many you know use so many clips of the community's finished product, right? Of Carnival Day, right? They call Mardi Gras, right? So we have seen them in their glory, so to speak. But very rarely did we get to meet the men and the women behind the suits. Well, we decided to start off with the big chiefs and get behind the mask, so to speak, and allow them to tell their story, how they rose to become a big chief. What were their advice to other young Inyans that's coming into the game? What it means to them to be a pillar in this culture. So tonight we got a special one. All of them are special, but Monk Boudreaux is one of the oldest, right? And him and Bo Dollars, along with my brother Juan Pardo, along with Big Chief Juan Pardo, Big Chief Honey. They traveled the world giving the sound of New Orleans. They really were the ambassadors of this culture. Many people may not know that we know them from how they hold down our communities and how they hold down their particular neighborhood and stronghold. But these men have gone across the world being ambassadors of our culture in New Orleans. But Monk, because he's such an elder, Monk tribe started in 1956, and all of our stories of our Big Chief archives, when you go to our website, you'll see that we give a timeline for the tribe as long as the particular chief that we interviewed can remember back and give us the accurate Big Chief along with the time. So here you see that President Monk Boudreaux, he started in 1956, but the tribe had Raymond Boudreaux. His father was the Wild Squatulas, and they were from the 1930s to the 1956. And it was Clarence Boudreaux, the hidden, did not mask in public from the 1900s. So he was an actual blood Chitimacha Indian. So we're showing a real life history of what our community is and who our community is, right? And they're going to tell us from their mouths. And this one, like I said, I'm really hyping this one up because he dropped some serious jewels in this about our language, about how we kept it hidden. So, without further ado, man, we're gonna get into Monk Boudreaux and check out.
Boudreaux, well known as Big Chief Monk Boudreaux, Chief of the Golden Eagles, and I came out in 57, 58, and I've been massing ever since. It was a hidden culture for many years, but it was always out on Mardi Gras Day, and we were only being who we really were. Not that we come out to mass. That was the only day we could be who we really were, was Mardi Gras Day, and we shot to our Indians. by blood.
By blood.
And a lot of people don't know that. But they got a lot of Indians in New Orleans. Believe me, a lot. Black Indians. And people wonder that they didn't know. Now they do know. And the city is like people coming from all over the world just to see us, you know, to make this thing that we kept going all these years more powerful now because they know about it. That's about the whole world know about us, and they come down to see us. But like I said, it was a hidden culture for many years, and it's been going on for over 100 years. You know,
over 100. Way.
2 nights that we was out for Mardi Gras, we was out for St. Joseph night, and now we was out for Super Sunday, and Super Sunday is based upon all the Indians get together and make one big parade where sometimes you might be out in the street, you might just see one tribe, but now you can see all of them, and we did that a couple of years back.
Yeah, Big G.
When we was kids, my dad was massing, okay, and we used to get up in the morning and help him to dress, which would be about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and we help him to dress, and he'd go out, and we'd be waiting till he'd come back, and the Indians in the neighborhood where we come up at, that was more like the base of Uptown where all the Indians came from. He was massing with the Wild Squattulas, and that was an old tribe, you know, from way back, and they had the red, white, and blue, and they had the 101.
Red, white, blue,
So,
album
you know,
cover.
it's been, when I was a kid, that was probably 50, no, that was in the 40s. Yeah, around 46. We didn't file them, you know, because we was too young.
Right.
But we always waited till they come back, and we seen them, you know, parading down the streets right in our neighborhood, you know. A lot of tribes came through. And I always wanted to be an Indian, you know, because my dad, but I didn't really know how to do it until I found out you got the soul to be an Indian.
You got a soul to be
So
an
I
Indian. That's
just
why
went
people
on,
hashtag keep
12,
going.
I started singing. And once I started, I couldn't stop. Well, I tell you what, when I'm doing my bead work, I get up in the morning, say around about 8, 9 o'clock, 10, and I start, you know, and I sit down until I do a portion. That's how I be in portions. And I sit there and I go for maybe 2 or 3 hours. And I see how far advanced I got in them 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever. And then I know how far I got to go then to catch up with this. And then before you know it, I didn't finish it, you know. Well, I come from the old style, and I still use it because that's the way I was taught. And that's the right way. You know, I'm not going out there trying to beat nobody. When I leave here, I'm building it for me. If I think I'm pretty, I'm pretty. You hear me? Now, he may not think I'm pretty, but I don't have nothing to do with how he feels about me. But I know I'll be pretty. You know why? Because I put in my time. I sit here and sew this. Well, my dad is one, and my grandfather, but he never masked. And he, like, more on my mama's side of the family also, you know, they didn't mask either. Because they, you know, like, during the days, the older people had a way of hiding things from us. They were speaking a language that they didn't want us to learn.
That's right, the original language.
When the older people get together, we had to go outside and play. You couldn't, you know, stay in there. And I found out that my mom knew it by being at a party one night. She met an old friend of hers, and they started talking. I said, I didn't know you knew that. She said, yeah, your grandpa taught us that. It wasn't English. But you know, I heard my grandfather, you know, off and on. You know, but they didn't teach us the language. They had a reason for that, you know. And which I had, matter of fact, talked to some Native American, and we were sitting down just talking, and I was explaining the same story to him. He said, "Yeah, my grandfather used to do the same thing." You know, they had their own language, and they didn't teach it to us because they had a reason for that. And the reason, I think, because they was dark skinned, they was passing for black because they didn't want to go to the reservation. Yeah, because they were sending us to the reservation, you know, so that's why they had this hidden language that they were doing, and they didn't want us to know. We figured we probably would let the cat out the sack, you know. We didn't have a problem for Mardi Gras, but unless something was going on, somebody out there fighting, they're gonna put it on the Indian. That's why we had signals, because like we could be like, say, 3 blocks apart from where the chief was, and we was in front, and we had signals. If we see trouble, we could stop and throw a signal back to the chief and let him know they got trouble ahead. Turn around. Because if we go into that, that's going to be our trouble, because they're going to say it's the Indians. You know, so these youngsters don't know that they got signals. Now when you meet a tribe now, they all pile up together. We didn't do that. Man, the chief might be from here, I don't care, way in the back, way in the back. But that's why we had spy boy, flag boy, spy boy, flag boy, spy boy, flag boy, gang flag. And we was that far apart. But we knew when we seen trouble how we can get the signal back to them, the signal. And the most important thing about playing that position, you had to be able to pay attention to know the signal. When the signal comes to you, you have to relate that signal back to the chief. One time later, he said, "Well, in your tribe, I know who the chief is. I can't tell who the chief is in this tribe because all of them got a big stick in there." When I was coming up, only one person had a stick. That was the chief. Flag boy had a flag, and the fire boy had a hatchet. That was only for signals, and the hatchet was wood, and the flag was wood. That was for throwing signals, not to harm nobody with, you know. But these youngsters now, they come out with machetes, you know. What you gonna do with a machete? You're not in the jungle or nowhere cutting down no trees or nothing. Why you got a machete out there, and then they got kids out there, you know. And these kids, like I bring my grandkids out, you don't pull no machete on them, you know. Because I don't know what you're going to do with that. If you're drunk, you might hit one of them or stick them in the eye, anything. You know, let's leave machetes at home. If you could get these youngsters to do that again and bring it back to where it was, I think it would be a better day for all of the Indians, you know. And it's been going on since the 1700s. I got some papers that I got from a friend of mine, a professor. He had do some research because people, they want to know it, and they have different theories about, you know, where we came from. You know, one time they said Buffalo Bill brought us down here in the Wild West. Nah, that ain't true. You know, people have their own thoughts, but it's one thing about people when they don't know something, then they'll try to figure it out, and you know, then they'll go do some research on, like Buffalo Bill. Oh yeah, he brought some Indians down here in this Wild West. That wasn't us though. No. We've been here for a long time. Some of the first people. I found out in life that one thing, you could get anything you want if you really want it. Yes. But it ain't gonna come on no silver platter. You got to work for it. I work hard too, man. You know, I raised 5 kids by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah, and I work for them. You know, and now I got my grandkids, and I work for them. I don't want them asking nobody for nothing. Come ask me. Yeah. Well, remember that I was a great man, like I remember my daddy, you know, and I taught them and I taught them well.
to the flag.
Well, that was this week's presentation of 42 Tribes with Big Chief Monk Boudreaux. I hope you guys caught the jewels that he dropped in there. The fact that we always did have our own language before Europeans came in. Our parents would not let the children know because they were afraid that they would be let known because they were passing for black, so they wouldn't have to be put on a reservation. Monk Boudreaux's also blood is Chitamacha. Also, the jewel that he dropped was that 1700s they did research to find his tribe and his people. And unfortunately, we have the misnomer that some think that we were part of an entertainment aspect of Buffalo Bill. And I think that's why our community and our culture has always been showed only doing something, only dancing, only with their mask on instead of the men that they are. As Monk, you can just tell, was a great man. He raised 5 children. So, with that said, man, we look forward to next week, same time, 6:45 Thursday, and we will get to our next big chief. All praises to the Most High, and